Dustin Tibbetts with Passport to Wall Street, and today we're going over the stock of the week. I might even have a little bonus one in there for you, but we're going to do our stock of the week, and we're actually going to focus in on a exchange-traded fund that's focused around regional banks. So a lot of times when we look up the different exchange-traded funds that have to do with financials, we tend to focus on one in particular, and that's the XLF. It's the most popular, it's the most heavily traded, so it means there's the most volume there, and it's just the one that's always talked about. Well, those are the large global banks. And what happens if you want to trade regional banks? Now, regional banks are those that, of course, are regional. They're not spread around the whole United States. They're not spread around the whole world. They just have, like, you know, the Southeast region or the Northwest region. And so you get more of a direct community type play on banks. Well, you know, the symbol we're going to look at today is KRE, and that's a regional bank exchange traded fund that helps you participate in that sector. And this sector and area of the market has been clobbered. So let's take a look. There may be an opportunity to buy a dip. Here's the chart of KRE, and this is the daily chart that I'm looking at here. You can just see the waterfall drop here. Now, we don't want to catch the falling knife, as the saying goes, but man, this is a severe and steep discount here in the short term. Now, if we look at this, our first glance, we go, whew, I mean, what do you want me to do with that? That's an aggressive drop. Is there a reason to believe that this would bounce from here, other than it just stopping at the $50 number? Well, if we look at the weekly time period, look what's happened here. It's come all the way back to its 200-week moving average. A lot of price support that, keep in mind, when this area sort of was forming its support, had a lot of excess volume, and that's letting you know people were attempting to put money in there, you know, rather successfully. So now we find that we've fallen all the way down here very quickly. I want to play this as more of a mid-term to short-term trade, even though we're using the weekly time period to, well, to kind of make our decision here. So if we go back to the daily chart, just to point out a couple things. So the reversal, of course, it's nice, but it doesn't indicate a bottom just yet. The volume is increasing here near the lows. That's people saying either A, I want out, I can't take any more of this drop, and B, those are the buyers coming along going, I'll take those shares, no problem. So it's only a $51 stock. So in this case, playing it from $51 up to $55 as a short-term trade, you could just simply buy shares of that. Here's the reason why. If we look at the options market for KRE here, and we go out to December, I'm going to zoom out. Oops, I'm going to just go out to December. If we look around 51, 52, the problem is the spread between the bid and the offer is a little large. That tells you there's not a lot of people that are interested. So if you're confident and you feel like you could squeeze in there somehow to sell puts, I would be all for that. Just watch your spread there. That's going to be a big one. Otherwise, just buying shares, it's a rather discounted stock, so not so much of a big deal. Now, I said I might have a bonus symbol for you. I want to look at the transportation ETF as well. That would be the IYT, completely different category, but a very similar decline there. So if we were to zoom out, look what's happened. We just sort of flushed through this support area. And if we go out to a weekly time period, there we go. You can see a similar pullback, right? So pulling back into support. There may be a little more downside here, and that's why it wasn't our top pick, because there may be just a touch more downside. Also, you have earnings still coming out for some of the big transport names, but I think you should keep an eye on this one as well, especially on aggressive down days. Well, I hope that helps you. I hope you learned something by taking a look at the regional exchange traded funds for the regional banks. I hope it makes you money, and we'll talk to you soon.